It's okay. I didn't quite catch the end of that. You said, I love you.
Maggie.
What if I told you that America's most beloved country newcomer is also studying to cure cancer? At just 18 years old, John Foster didn't just steal the spotlight on American Idol 2025, he's now balancing fame, faith, and finals. From the small town of Addis, Louisiana, to the grand stage of millions, this humble cowboy is chasing two dreams at once: country stardom and becoming an oncologist. But behind the glitter and guitars lies a story of heartbreak, internet controversy, and a promise to a friend he'll never forget. Tonight, we follow the inspiring double life of a young man who's redefining what it means to be an American Idol runner-up, and why his journey might just be more powerful than winning. It all began with a cowboy hat, a guitar, and a dream. On a brisk February evening in 2025, John Foster walked onto the American Idol stage looking like he stepped straight out of a classic country song. Hailing from Addis, Louisiana, a town many viewers had never heard of, John chose Garth Brooks' Callin' Baton Rouge as his audition piece, and from the very first chord, the room changed. The judges exchanged looks. Carrie Underwood, no stranger to Idol herself, leaned in and whispered what millions at home were already thinking. He sounds like 90s country royalty. Luke Bryan called him a diamond in the dust, and Katy Perry asked if he was real. But John wasn't just a voice, he was a storyteller. He opened up about his roots, his love for neo-traditional country music, and the friend he had lost in a tragic car crash, Maggie Dunn, who would later become the muse behind his most talked-about original song. With each round of the competition, John's fan base grew louder. His performances weren't just songs, they were moments. Whether he was reviving George Strait classics or introducing his own heartfelt ballads, John Foster made you feel something. By the time the season finale aired on May 18, 2025, he was one of the last two standing. In a finale watched by millions, John stood beside fellow finalist Jamal Roberts. The tension was palpable, the applause deafening, and when Ryan Seacrest read the final result, John Foster had come in second. But here's the twist. He didn't flinch. No tears, no disappointment. Just a peaceful smile and a hand extended toward Jamal. It was a moment that stunned viewers, not because he lost, but because of how he handled it. Gracefully, quietly, like someone who knew that for him, this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Behind John Foster's easy smile and stage-ready charisma lies a story marked by deep personal loss, and the song that would become his emotional anchor. Tell That Angel I Love Her wasn't just a performance, it was a promise, written in memory of Maggie Dunn, a close friend and fellow Louisiana teen who tragically lost her life in a car accident. The song first surfaced during Hollywood Week. It silenced the judges. Luke Bryan wiped away a tear. Carrie Underwood called it one of the most honest originals she had ever heard on Idol. But it wasn't until the finale that the full version of the ballad was officially released. Through 19 recordings, the American Idol partner label, John dropped the single on Spotify and Apple Music just days before the final vote. Fans immediately connected. The lyrics, raw, unfiltered, and full of grief, sparked an outpouring of stories from others who had lost loved ones. Within hours, Tell That Angel I Love Her was charting among new country releases. TikTok users began sharing reaction videos, some of them visibly crying as they listened. The music video, shot in a minimalistic studio setting, featured just John, his guitar, and a photo of Maggie clipped to the mic stand. There were no flashy lights or production gimmicks, just pain, love, and legacy woven into every word. It was in this moment that audiences across the nation realized something. John Foster wasn't simply a contestant. He was a vessel for something bigger, someone using music not for fame, but for healing. And Nashville took notice. Behind the scenes, producers and record execs began to whisper. This wasn't just a one-song fluke. It was the kind of emotional authenticity money couldn't buy, and labels were watching closely. But John, he stayed focused on the music, the message, and the memory of his friend. The song was for her. The rest, just background noise. In a show where the winner walks away with a $250,000 cash prize and a recording contract with Hollywood Records, you might assume the runner-up gets the short end of the deal. But in John Foster's case, second place came with something far more valuable: nationwide exposure. While Jamal Roberts was busy signing contracts, John's performance clips were racking up millions of views across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram Reels. His name was trending not just in the US, but internationally. A soft-spoken country boy from Addis had suddenly become a global name. And then came the rumors. No official announcement had been made, but the industry chatter was deafening. Executives from multiple Nashville-based labels were said to be circling, waiting for just the right moment to swoop in. American Idol had already done half the work. John had a viral song, a compelling backstory, and a loyal fan base that was growing by the day. Blogs and entertainment sites speculated endlessly. Would Big Machine make a move? Could he be the next breakout star signed by BBR Music Group? When asked about the rumors in a post-finale interview, John didn't play coy. "I'm not signed yet," he admitted, "but I'm open to opportunities. Right now, I'm just focused on making music and finishing school." It was classic Foster, measured, humble, and refreshingly honest. No flashy promises, no hype, just a kid with a guitar and a dream. And yet, the buzz didn't stop. His Spotify streams for Tell That Angel I Love Her crossed 2 million within the first week. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Nashville producers were reportedly reaching out privately. What John didn't get in a contract, he gained in credibility. He wasn't handed success, he earned it in front of the entire nation. And while the ink on a record deal may not yet be dry, one thing is crystal clear: the music industry knows his name, and they're paying close attention. But while managers and labels made their offers behind closed doors, something even more powerful was happening back home. While Hollywood buzzed with contract speculation, the real celebration was happening hundreds of miles away, in the heart of Addis, Louisiana. Just 4 days before the Idol finale aired, the town rallied behind its hometown star like never before. On May 14th, 2025, the streets of Addis were lined with banners reading, "We are Addis proud," as the community threw a full-scale homecoming parade in John Foster's honor. School children waved handmade signs, local businesses offered free treats, and from front porches to downtown cafes, John's music echoed through every speaker. But it didn't stop there. That same evening, the city hosted a waterfront concert where John took the stage before hundreds of locals, friends, neighbors, classmates, teachers, and fans. There were no flashing pyrotechnics or choreographed stage tricks, just John, his guitar, and the crowd that raised him. And when he performed Tell That Angel I Love Her under a sky of cell phone lights and soft candle glows, people wept. It wasn't just a concert, it was a moment of shared grief, love, and community. Even the state took notice. Louisiana's governor officially declared May 14th John Foster Day, recognizing the young musician not only for his artistic achievement, but for the way he represented his hometown and his state with humility and grace on national television. It was a rare kind of celebration, not for a championship, not for a graduation, but for character. John wasn't just a talented singer, he was the symbol of something pure. A reminder that success doesn't have to come at the cost of staying true to who you are. And as Addis cheered and cried for one of their own, the message was clear. No matter how far John goes, Louisiana will always be home. But what came next surprised everyone, because while most Idol contestants would jump straight into recording or touring, John took a different path. Back to campus. Just days after the American Idol finale, while other contestants were adjusting to media appearances and industry meetings, John Foster was doing something far less flashy, walking into a freshman biology lecture at Louisiana State University. You see, long before the spotlight found him, John had another dream, one not made of music notes or stage lights. He wanted to become an oncologist. And even with the weight of national fame on his shoulders, he wasn't ready to let go of that ambition. "I'll be a musician for the rest of my life," he told LSU News in a post-Idol interview, "whether it's full-time or on the side. But I also want to help people fight cancer. That's something I've prayed on for years." His words weren't just poetic, they were backed by action. As his Spotify streams soared, John was in class, taking notes, submitting lab assignments, and prepping for finals like every other student in his cohort. Classmates have described him as focused but humble, the kind of person who doesn't mention Idol unless someone else brings it up. And while his professors know who he is, he insists on being greeted like everyone else. Balancing music and medicine isn't easy, but John credits two things: his faith and a well-honed calendar. "I have to block out time for everything: studio sessions, rehearsals, prayer, sleep, and study," he said. "I treat both careers like callings." He's even been spotted studying in quiet corners of the recording studio, textbook open while producers adjust sound levels. His ability to compartmentalize, switching from biology labs to vocal tracks, isn't just impressive, it's rare. And for fans, it's deeply inspiring. Because John Foster isn't just chasing fame, he's preparing for a future where music heals hearts and medicine heals bodies. But for someone trying to stay grounded, nothing rattled that calm more than what happened online just days after the finale. For a contestant who handled fame with such humility, the internet was quick to test John Foster's composure. It all started during the live finale of American Idol 2025. As Ryan Seacrest held the final envelope and announced Jamal Roberts as the winner, cameras caught a strange detail. John Foster didn't look surprised. In fact, some fans claimed he glanced at the envelope just moments before the name was called, and that's all it took. Within hours, social media exploded. The hashtag John Peeped began trending on X, formerly Twitter. TikTok creators analyzed frame-by-frame footage of John's reaction, with commentary suggesting he knew ahead of time or was prepped by producers. Theories ranged from harmless speculation to full-blown conspiracy. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from his grace and talent to accusations of staged endings and reality show rigging. But John didn't wait long to address it. In an exclusive interview with TV Insider, he calmly shut down the rumors. "I didn't see anything," he said. "I was in a total blur. Honestly, I was just praying in that moment. I felt peace with whatever outcome. Jamal deserved it." His explanation was sincere, but the online buzz didn't die immediately. Determined to set the record straight, John later released a heartfelt Instagram story thanking his fans for their support and urging everyone to stay kind. "Social media moves fast," he wrote, "but let's not forget grace and perspective. That moment wasn't about me, it was about music, love, and community." And just like that, the storm passed. Fans who had initially questioned him began posting apologies. Others doubled down on their admiration, calling him the real winner for how he handled the chaos. In an era where public figures often lash back or stay silent, John chose composure, and that decision only deepened his respect with audiences. But with the controversy behind him, attention quickly shifted again. Now, people weren't just asking how John Foster lost, they were wondering what exactly he was planning next. With controversy behind him and fans rallying stronger than ever, John Foster wasted no time hinting at his next big move. The moment the camera stopped rolling, he shifted gears from competition mode to creation mode. In multiple interviews following the finale, John revealed that studio sessions were already underway. And while no formal announcements have been made, whispers inside Nashville suggest something significant is brewing. A debut EP featuring original tracks written during and after his Idol journey. Industry insiders have noted his meetings with producers known for working with neo-traditionalists like Zach Top and Cody Johnson. The sound? Classic country storytelling with a modern edge. "I want to make music that honors where I come from," John told a local Louisiana news outlet, "but also shows where I'm headed." And that destination could include country music's most hollowed stage. Rumors are heating up about a potential guest slot at the Grand Ole Opry. Sources close to Idol alumni suggest that the show's talent bookers have already reached out, intrigued not just by John's voice, but by his story. It wouldn't be the first time an Idol alum debuted there shortly after the finale, and fans are already buzzing on Reddit threads and Facebook groups about the possibility. Meanwhile, John's recording efforts haven't slowed. On Instagram Live, he teased a track titled "River Knows the Way," a heartfelt ballad inspired by growing up near the Mississippi. In another Q&A, he mentioned collaborating with a major name in the Nashville songwriting scene, but he declined to say who. But one thing is clear: John isn't content with letting Idol be his peak. He's building something deliberately, something with longevity. He's not chasing trends. He's crafting identity. And while fans wait for official release dates and tour announcements, they've already committed to the ride. Because what John Foster is building isn't just a country music career. It's a movement. And behind that movement is a loyal, fast-growing base that believes in more than his music. They believe in him.